Minister for Foreign Affairs Seiji Maehara made his first overseas trip of 2011 to Washington, D.C. and Tallahassee, Florida in the United States of America from January 6th through January 10th. On the first day of his trip, Minister Maehara delivered a speech at the Center for Strategic and International Studies.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hamre.
In his speech on the theme of opening a new horizon in the Asia-Pacific, Minister Maehara shared his basic thoughts on how Japan and the U.S. should cooperate with each other in the Asia-Pacific region, which is going through a period of change, in order to promote the shaping of a new order and to open a bright future.
For such strategic environment, the Japan-U.S. alliance is vitally important, not only to the defense of Japan, but also to the peace and stability of the Asia-Pacific region as the region's public good.
Good afternoon.
Following his speech at the CSIS, Minister Maehara headed to the U.S. Department of State and held a Japan-U.S. Foreign Ministerial meeting with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. This was their fourth meeting in 5 months since Minister Maehara assumed office as Foreign Minister. At the meeting, Minister Maehara and Secretary Clinton affirmed to work on the culture of the process to deepen the alliance for the upcoming visit by Prime Minister Khan to the U.S. in the first half of this year. Specifically, both ministers agreed on making as much progress as possible in the field of security, economy, and cultural and people-to-people exchanges, and at the same time to continue dialogue with each other about a vision of the Japan-U.S. alliance in the 21st century. Concerning the situation in the Asia-Pacific region, both ministers agreed to stay in close coordination towards our goals, including denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Both sides also shared the recognition on the importance of China's constructive role as a responsible member of the international community. Furthermore, Secretary Clinton stated that the U.S. also would like to continue to closely coordinate with Japan on global issues, including the Middle East peace process, and expressed appreciation for Japan's contributions to these issues. During the meeting with Vice President Joe Biden at the White House, both sides agreed to continue dialogue to ensure that Prime Minister Naoto Kan's visit to the U.S. is successful. They further agreed on the importance of politicians cutting across party lines and taking a lead role in ensuring the smooth functioning of the Japan-U.S. alliance. The same day, Minister Maehara also met with senior experts and hosted a dinner for U.S. Congress members, during which a meaningful exchange of views took place. On the second day of his visit, Minister Maehara laid a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery. Later on that morning, Minister Maehara met with Senator Lieberman, held talks with Japanese American leaders, and had lunch with Deputy Secretary of State James Steinberg and other U.S. government officials, including senior officials from the White House, Department of State, and Department of Defense. In the afternoon, Minister Maehara's busy schedule included an interview with the Washington Post, a meeting with National Security Advisor Tom Donilon, and an exchange of views with Japanese businessmen. On the third day of his visit, Minister Maehara visited Tallahassee, Florida, and met with the governor of Florida, Rick Scott, who had just assumed office on January 4th. After the meeting, Minister Maehara returned to Washington, D.C., where he responded to questions by the Japanese press and discussed the outcomes of the meeting with the governor of Florida. At the meeting, both sides agreed to work towards further deepening business ties between Japan and Florida, as well as collaboration to promote our business cooperation in the Latin American markets. In response to an invitation from Minister Maehara, Governor Scott noted that he would like to consider visiting Japan with Florida's business leaders at an appropriate time, and that he would like to invite government officials and business leaders from Japan to hold a seminar for promoting trade and investment.
また経済協力の一つの大きな目玉といたしまして、フロリダで今考えられている高速鉄道計画がございますけれども、今日私は日本の高速鉄道の素晴らしさというものを説明をいたしました。一つには46
Minister Maehara provided a detailed explanation of the advantages of the Japanese high-speed rail technology and system, focusing particularly on matters of interest to Governor Scott: employment creation, the economic impact of the trains, which included commercial development around stations, and financing schemes. Minister Maehara concluded all portions of his visit to the U.S. and departed for Japan. As can be seen from this video, Minister Maehara's visit to the U.S. was fruitful. It is such continuous efforts that deepen the Japan-U.S. alliance.